You're watching ABC 7 News at 5:30.
Welcome back. In Washington, it's another day where the honor and respect for Senator John McCain is on full display. The public getting a final chance to say goodbye.
You're looking live at the U.S. Capitol, where the late senator lies in state following a private memorial service this morning. ABC's Elizabeth Herr is in Washington with a look at today's service.
A solemn display of respect for an American hero. The Military Honor Guard carrying the casket of Senator John McCain into the Capitol Rotunda for the last time. And at that moment, the skies began pouring rain. Inside, political luminaries of the past and present joining the McCain family, including his 106-year-old mother, Roberta, commemorating the life and service of an American patriot.
This is one of the bravest souls our nation has ever produced.
With Speaker Paul Ryan and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell praising McCain and thanking his family.
On behalf of the Senate and the entire nation, thank you. Thank you for lending him to us longer than we had a right.
While Vice President Mike Pence delivered a message of gratitude from the White House.
The President asked me to be here on behalf of a grateful nation to pay a debt of honor and respect to a man who served our country throughout his life.
President Trump reportedly not welcomed here. That directive said to come from McCain himself, who also planned this final and powerful show of unity, having leaders from both parties and both chambers participating in the ceremonial wreath laying. And following that ceremony, there was another touching moment today. We're told McCain's close friend, Senator Lindsey Graham, took Mrs. McCain to her late husband's desk in the Senate chamber and presented her with 2 white roses from the flowers on McCain's desk right now in his honor. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Tuesday's primary had a record number of people voting, with local congressional races to school board races. But there's one race specifically that is not just the state of Florida, but the nation talking. ABC 7's Alan Cohn is here to explain what has the nation buzzing about the Sunshine State. Alan?
Jacqueline, the governor's race here in Florida wasn't getting a lot of national exposure before Tuesday, but that has sure changed. President Trump endorsing Ron DeSantis looked to have helped him win the Republican nomination. And Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum surprised many by pulling out a victory over Gwen Graham, but it's what DeSantis said in an interview about Gillum afterwards that has everyone talking.
The last thing we need to do is to monkey this up by trying to embrace a socialist agenda.
Looking at the whole clip, I think he was clear about what he meant. He understood the dog whistle that he was blowing. And I understand that he intends to speak to a particular part of the base to incite them. But the truth is I think there are a majority of us who disagree with that brand of politics.
Coming up on ABC 7 at 7, we'll discuss the Florida governor's race as well as what happened in the week in Washington. Back to you.
All right, Alan, thank you so much. We'll see you tonight. Let's get a check now on our weather on this Friday evening with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. The rain clearing out, Bob?
For the most part, yes. The heavy rain and the lightning not a factor right now, and it looks like things are going to stay pretty good for the area high school football action tonight. So if you plan on going to a game, you may get some light rain at this point, but it doesn't appear anything's on the horizon to indicate any kind of lightning delay as a result of storms around. All that to the north of us now, well to the north of us. Some light rain still lingering in Venice, and just to the north and near Ruskin along I-75, a little bit of light rainfall there. So most of the energy of today has been used up, although there may still be an isolated storm that will pop up late in the game. I don't think we'll see anything too significant early on. Rainfall estimates past 6 hours, pretty heavy in Nokomis, near Osprey as well. We've had some impressive rainfall amounts today, over 2.5 inches there, right there by Casey Key Road. And people have talked about it, saying that the water was ponding on the roadways. It's going to wash off right into the roadways as a result of the ground so saturated right now. And flood warnings are out for area rivers and streams. We're talking about the Manatee River at the Myakka Head. We're also talking about the Myakka River at the Myakka State Park, the Horse Creek River, and also the Peace River. Football Friday night looking good, looking better than it did last week. And flooding concerns through the weekend and beyond as a result of a tropical wave that'll be moving through on Monday and Tuesday. That wave looks to be not a big windstorm, but it is going to produce a little bit more widespread heavy rainfall. Well, much more on that, of course, coming up at 6 o'clock. And as far as that wave goes, it has been kind of going through pulses. During the late afternoon, it really starts to explode like we're seeing now. Several areas of heavy weather, but it's all being blown apart at the tops as a result of that strong southeast wind shear that's going on, southwest wind shear, I should say. And that shear forecast looks to stay hostile for any kind of developments of any kind of systems in the Gulf of Mexico or all the way down south in the Florida Strait. So things are looking pretty good on the tropical front here, although we will see that tropical moisture move in. Back to you.
Bob, thank you. It is week 2 of the high school football season featuring 2 major county rivalries. ABC 7's Adam Cellini joins us with a preview of the week 2 edition of Football Friday Night. Adam?
Well, Scott and Jacqueline, there are a couple of titanic county rivalries that we are keeping our eye on tonight, but the game of the week will be the battle across the Manatee River. Palmetto heading south to take on Manatee High School, former district rivals. The Tigers stomped Southeast in their opener last week, and quarterback Anthony Marino accounted for a whopping 6 touchdowns. The Hurricane defense is looking to bounce back from a 22-point loss to perennial state power Lakeland, in which they gave up over 250 yards rushing. Also, Palmetto beat Manatee for the first time in 13 years last season. And down in Sarasota County, the state champs Venice are coming to the Ram Bowl to take on state finalist Riverview. This was a war early in the season last year before rain ended that game early and Riverview lost 17-0. Bob Harrigan has said it multiple times tonight. We are hoping that rain holds off and some football is played, and you can be sure to find the scores and highlights right here on ABC 7 after the news at 11 p.m. And fans and parents, remember to send in those pictures. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Find us at the names listed at the bottom of your screen, either hashtag FFN7 or at MySunCoast. Scott and Jacqueline, back to you.
All right, thank you, Adam. Looking forward to it. The Booker High School football team getting new uniforms, all thanks to a generous donation from Sunset Auto Group. The group is paying the estimated $18,000 for new threads and helmets to outfit 60 players on the Booker varsity team. The uniforms are manufactured by Under Armour, with which Booker signed a contract over the summer. The Tornadoes will sport their new gear tonight for their game at Clearwater Central Catholic.
Look good for sure. 5 Manatee County High School students are heading to Singapore next week to represent the U.S. at the largest global STEM competition in the world. Team Perspective will face off with 51 teams from 23 different countries around the world, all vying to become the next Formula One in Schools world champions. Team design, build, and race miniature compressed air-powered Formula One cars. Manatee County is only one of a few school districts in the United States to offer this Formula One in Schools program. They've done this before, and I think they got a good shot at winning.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. They've got some good competition, though, too.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, why more and more children are being diagnosed with ADHD in the United States.
And an important recall on meat that you may have in your fridge. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closets Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Temperatures are rising and the deals are heating up during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. Get KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $22,999. Or save big and get the new Chrysler 300 Touring with an MSRP over $30,000 for just $21,999. That's a savings of over $8,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota today.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
Dear parents, it's time for a pop quiz. What's the best kind of play for kids? Play that makes us think, or helps us pretend, or teaches us rules, or to be creative. Actually, every kind of play is important, because different kinds of play give us different kinds of skills. Help us mix up the ways we play. Okay, class dismissed, now go play.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
ADHD is a common condition in children and teens across the country. And as kids head back to school, you'll want to hear the latest. Here's ABC's Sherry Preston.
Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD. Most of us have either heard of it or been affected by it. And if it seems to you that disorder is becoming more common, you'd be correct. Looking at over 20 years of surveys collected by the National Center for Health Statistics at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, researchers calculated the disorder jumped from being present in 6% of U.S. children to being present in 10%. The team warned the rates varied between boys and girls. In boys, it was 14%. In girls, it was 6%. Rates also varied by race. African American children had the highest rates at 12.8%, followed by white children at 12% and Hispanic children at 6%. Experts tell us if your child is having trouble with either attention or hyperactivity, you should discuss a formal evaluation with your pediatrician to make sure she has everything she needs and is ready to learn this school year. With this Medical Minute, I'm Sherry Preston.
As summertime rolls to a close, we might think we have our summer safety game down to a T, but late summer can also provide moments that require an extra level of attention, especially since it's the time of year when bees, wasps, and yellow jackets are most active. According to a doctor with Cleveland Clinic, if you get stung by an insect, it's important to keep an eye out for a possible allergic reaction.
Things to watch out for would be anything involving your airway. If you're noticing swelling or even a cough or a hoarse voice or tongue swelling, those are all signs that you are allergic and you need to get to a health care facility immediately.
For those who already know they are allergic to insect stings, Dr. Waters says it's vital to always have an EpiPen on hand to make sure it is up to date. And he says that even if you have not been stung in many years, if you've had a reaction in the past, you will have one again. So just want to be prepared just in case.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
All right, here's the latest red tide report. This is the red tide change from last week. Now this goes from August 25th through the 31st today, and you'll see some improvement in some places. The only thing is now we have 145 miles of coastline that have had red tide, and that goes now into Hillsborough County, so that means it has entered into Tampa Bay. But the news is this, is that we are looking at 25% or greater lower concentrations in Manatee County. In fact, there is no high concentrations detected with all the samples over the past 5 days there. Same is true for Collier County. And then Lee County has stayed the same. It's not changed at all. And as far as Manatee County is concerned, not the best news there. Manatee County is good. Sarasota County and Charlotte County, as well as Hillsborough now and Pinellas County, showing a 5 to 25% higher concentration than it was last week. So it's still around. It's still around. Some folks are reporting dead fish, while others in Manatee County, I was out there today, as I said, looking much better and better. And so it's going to be going back and forth, it looks like. It's not going to be over tomorrow, or probably not even next week. It's going to take a while. Let's hope this system causes a little bit more easterly flow. That's expected to move through on Monday and Tuesday. You can see rain still mainly down to our south now and to the north of us. Not a lot going on here. Currently, we are looking at some light rain still lingering across the region, but we're not looking at a lot of heavy storms, and it doesn't appear there's going to be. As I said earlier, looks good for your outdoor activities through this evening. It's cooled down, actually, pretty nice. And as far as that wave goes, it's going to be moving off to the west and northwest in time. This is Sunday, and as we move through time, you can see the little yellow show up there on Monday. So some pretty big storms with some heavy rain, torrential downpours anticipated on Monday, and possibly even lingering into Tuesday. Now, we get back to Wednesday and Thursday, we'll still see that east wind with a good chance for scattered late-day storms. I think a little bit more activity will be around on into Monday and Tuesday. And there goes Florence. Florence off your screen there will stay out in the Atlantic, so no problems with that. The system has a slight chance of developing into a tropical low as it heads off toward the northern Gulf Coast states, or even into the western portion of the Gulf of Mexico. I mentioned Florence. It's not quite there yet, but it will be. Conditions are becoming more favorable for it to develop, and if it were to do so, all the models are in agreement. It's going to move north, so this is not going to be a factor for us for sure. Sometimes they have a tendency to rebound back off to the west, but I don't think that's going to do it as we move through time. Now, as far as the latest go, the top winds are at 35 miles an hour, so it's under tropical storm force winds at this point, but could change pretty quickly. Winds out of the east and then southeast. We'll start off east winds at 15 knots, so it'll be a little choppy to start the morning off, 5 to 10 knots in the afternoon, but then you got to worry about the late day storms moving in. So if boaters, there'll be a lot of them out there. There'll be a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature now is at 86 because of the rain moving into the Gulf. It's cooled things down a little bit. So rain chance lessens a little bit tomorrow, 40%. We should see a nice morning, early afternoon. We'll start to see those clouds increase. Better chances come on Sunday and Monday, and especially late Monday and into Tuesday morning. I think that's when we're going to see the best chance. That Labor Day, I extended it now, so you can take the day off on Tuesday as well. That should be right over here. So 60% chance on into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Well, if you haven't heard already, anglers beware. There's a new executive order that has come out, and that means snook as well as redfish can be caught, but you have to release them back in the water. Now, September 1st typically starts the snook season when people can keep them, but not this time. And it's really until further notice. I know they said until like September 26th, but if the red tide's still around, they're going to keep this in place. So we'll see how that plays out through the month of September. It's at least through September 26th, and that goes all the way from Anna Maria down southward to just south of Naples. The area in red is where you have to release them back into the water because there's been so much stress on those fish. Well, Captain Rick Gross, he was up there north of all the red tide, and his clients catching this big redfish that you see right there. And then again, another nice size fish. This again is Fishing Business Charters, and that was Ed, Ron, and Greg, and he caught a snook right there. They all released him back in the water, and by the way, Captain Rick Gross always releases them back in the water, as well as he says they should add onto that speckled trout, because the trout have taken a big hit too. There's more trout obviously than the redfish and the snook, but they too have been hit hard. So if you're out there fishing, I don't know if you want to keep them anyway, but release them, put them back in the water, and go about your day. That's usually the best advice. As I said, the waters are clear. I talked to Captain Scott Moore. He said they're pretty good. Anglers have been doing well up into Tampa Bay, but now with Hillsborough County added in that list of red tide and increasing it, you have to be concerned about that as well.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Bob.
All right, we'll take a look at your first alert traffic. For the drive home, the roads are pretty clear at this hour. Just some minor traffic on US 41 heading north and south around the State Road 70 intersection. Scott?
Well, an important meat recall to tell you about tonight. Publix is voluntarily recalling nearly 30 of its ground beef products due to possible E. coli contamination. About 18 people have become sick. The ground beef made from chuck was sold in 24 Florida counties between June 25th and July 31st, and that includes Manatee and Sarasota. We've got the full list of all the products recalled at our website, mysuncoast.com. If you do have any of the items affected, either throw it out or return it to a Publix store for a refund.
The president looking to stop pay raises for federal employees. In a letter to Congress, President Trump says the budget is too tight to allow the 2.1% raises due across the board in January for civilian workers. He also wants to cancel other raises for federal employees that could top 25%.
These are tough times for Campbell's Soup as soup sales continue to plunge. They're going to sell off their Bolthouse Farms and Garden Fresh Gourmet brands. The goal is to pay down debt. They'll instead focus on snacks, meals, and beverages.
Well, companies that want to do business with Microsoft will soon have to start offering their employees some Microsoft-like benefits. The company says it is going to start requiring that its larger suppliers and contractors offer at least 4 months of paid leave for new parents.
All right, entertainment news coming up next.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
According to Golf Digest, 2 of the nation's top golf resorts are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, the Albert Opelika Marriott at Grand National, and the Renaissance Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa in Birmingham. Plus, the Marriott at Grand National was recognized as Hotel of the Year by Marriott International. Experience luxury and world-class golf Southern style. Visit rtjgolf/resorts or call 800-949-4444 to book your trip to the trail.
Another pair of satisfied emotions. Looks to me like elation and maybe some amazement. It's part of the Honda Summer Spectacular event experience. You could say satisfaction comes standard here, just like the Honda Accord comes standard with a luxurious, roomy interior. All at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
We see it all the time.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Accord, 2018's North American Car of the Year.
Helping families with mesothelioma is all we do. My firm has been offering a free book on mesothelioma for over 10 years. Since that time, hundreds of people with mesothelioma have trusted us to represent them. We have local offices throughout the U.S. and there is no risk to you. Mesothelioma really is all we do.
Call us at 1-800-485-6000. That's 1-800-485-6000.
Or go to mesoonlylaw.com.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
In entertainment news, a send-off fit for a queen is winding down in Detroit.
It's the final goodbye for Aretha Franklin. ABC's Zachary Quiche shows us how people honored the legendary Queen of Soul.
Aretha Franklin's music forged deep connections with people across the world. That was clear as thousands rolled into the Greater Grace Temple to say thank you and goodbye. They called it a spiritual service, and it was oh so soulful. They stood up and swayed the Clark sisters, and if there was any doubt about this new generation and their love of Aretha, Ariana Grande answered that. Among the group of guests and speakers inside, Bishop T.D. Jakes.
Aretha Franklin, in a class all by herself, has touched the world, each of us in our own way.
Former President Bill Clinton also paying tribute to the Queen of Soul.
She took this massive talent and decided to be the composer of her own life song. What a song it turned out to be.
But the honor paid to Aretha spread beyond U.S. shores. Even in Buckingham Palace, during the changing of the guards, they literally paid her respect. Aretha Franklin was nominated for 44 Grammys, taking home 18 of the awards.
And you're going to be one of the featured voices in the choir of angels because, you know, you'd have to be.
Aretha passed away August 16th at the age of 76. She stood for justice, she stood for people, and today they stood for her. Zachary Quiche, ABC News, Detroit.
More legal issues for former TV star Heather Locklear. The 56-year-old is facing 3 misdemeanor charges linked to an incident from June. Authorities say Locklear became combative towards first responders for the second time in 4 months. A lawyer for Locklear pleaded not guilty yesterday to all those charges. She's due back in court next month.
Actress Emmy Rossum is saying goodbye to Shameless after the show's upcoming 9th season. In a Facebook post, Rossum said playing her complex character was a gift and called the past 8 years the best of her life. The network said it was saddened by her decision to leave and praised her work as Fiona. An executive director says work is underway on a season finale aimed at giving Rossum and her character a worthy send-off.
The labor of love, Crazy Rich Asians, should top the box office again this Labor Day weekend. Seems nothing can stop the romantic comedy, which is looking at a 3rd straight weekend at #1 and perhaps another $30 million or so. As for the new releases, the Nazi hunting drama Operation Finale looks to be the best of the bunch, looking at about $9 million for the 4-day weekend. The horror film Searching may grab $6 million as it expands nationwide. And then the sci-fi flick Kin, starring Zoe Kravitz and James Franco, will likely open outside of the top 10.
All right, lots of movies if you want to get out there for the holiday weekend.
And with all the rain, maybe it's a good thing to do, yeah.
Here you go. Well, stay with us. We'll be right back with more news and weather.